Welcome, Raw Ballers. 2018 draft slowly approaching us. I want to set down a couple of point changes that we've made to hopefully make the league better. So we're going to go down through all the changes that I've made. These are 2017 points, and these are 2018 points with the changes that have been implemented for the new 2018 season. Okay, we're going to go with passing at the quarterback position. Okay, our last season touchdowns were worth 4 points. This year touchdowns will be worth 5 points. One touchdown will be worth 5 points. Last year they were worth 4 points. We also made a change to the interceptions. When you throw an interception, it used to be 2 points. Now interception is only 1 point. 1 point deduction for interceptions. Okay, last year was 2 points. Okay, and we also have, let's move on to rushing. Rushing, everything pretty much stayed the same. I think we added the 200-yard rusher gets 2 points this year. Last year, I think they got 1 point. And if you was a 100-yard rusher, you got 0. So this year you are being rewarded as being a 100-yard rusher and a 200-yard rusher in any single game. So you'll go from 0 points last year for a 100-yard rusher to 1 point now. Okay, and we also increased the 50-yard rush touchdown bonus. Like if you rush for a touchdown longer than 50 yards, you will receive 3 points. Last year you received 2 points. So that was an effort to get the running backs that are really dominating and having really long runs more points, to make those guys a little bit more valuable, like Le'Veon Bell and Gurley, because they're known for breaking off long runs. Okay, and also for, I think we had rush attempts. We didn't have rush attempts. Okay, we didn't add rush attempts, but I will be adding rush attempts. For every 10 rush attempts, you will be awarded 1 point. For every 10 rush attempts, you will be rewarded 1 point. Since the league is going to backfield by committee, I don't think it'll be too often that we'll have guys running the ball 20 times. So that's why I went with for every 10 rushes is 1 point. Okay. Okay. Let's get on over to receiving. Okay. One change that we made in receiving was that if you have a 100-yard receiving game, you get 100-yard receiving game, you will be rewarded 1 point. Last year, you didn't get anything. You had a 200-yard receiving game, you got 1 point last year. This year, you're going to get 2 points, okay? And let me see, we got touchdowns are 6 points, 1 point for every 10 yards. Every 5 completions will be 1 additional point. Every 5 completions will be 1 additional point, okay? And let me see, what else do we have as far as receiving? 2-point conversions are 2 points. 50-yard touchdown bonus is a 1 point. So all those are pretty much the same. Now, we did make some changes to the kicking game. Our kickers were averaging a lot of points last year. They were averaging double digits. So I decided to cut that back and scale that back to get the kickers more involved, okay? Well, not to get the kickers more involved, actually just to bring them back to reality and not have them scoring 10 and 12 points a game. Okay, so now all PATs are good. Missed field goals are -1 point. Field goals between 40 yards, from 0 to 39 yards, are 3 points. Field goals from 40 to 49 yards are 4 points. Field goals from 50 yards, I stand corrected on all of those points for field goals. Last year's field goals from 0 to 30 yards were 3 points. This year, they're 2 points. Field goals from 40 to 49 last year were 4 points. This year, they're 3 points. Field goals from 50 yards on greater were 5 points. This year, they're 4 points. Okay, it took those guys of averaging double digits throughout the season to averaging moderate numbers. Okay, now this is a new addition to the league. It will be your defensive players. I put in several combinations to come up where your defensive player will be effective and not just somebody getting you 5 and 6 points without counting every single tackle to make them end up with 35, 40 points. Okay, so what I did is I plugged in several different combinations and I went by the best D-end rusher that they had available for me, and I messed with the stats and the numbers for him to come up with averaging, I think he averaged 12 points a game, roughly averaged 12 points a game. Okay, so that puts him in, you know, high draft order in my opinion, to where your defensive player is not a 6th or 7th round. He may possibly be a 3rd or 4th round. Okay, I think that makes it fun. Now these are the point stats, these are the points that he will receive in their position. Okay, you will hear different and oddball numbers, but these are the numbers that I had to come up with and utilize in order to get the average where it's at. Okay, for each sack he's going to get 3 points. Each block punt or field goal is 3 points. Each fumble recovered is 3.5 points. Each safety is 5 points. Solo tackles are 1.5. Pass defense, 1.5. Every 3 tackles, he will be given 2 points. Each interception will be 3.5. Each fumble will be 3.5. And assisted tackles will be 0.5. And stuffs will be 1.5. So I came up with these numbers in order to give me solid numbers for premier edge rushers. Okay, now we moved on to team defense and special teams. I had to change some of these numbers here in order so defenses wouldn't average 18, 19 points. Okay, so we went with every kickoff. Last year was 1 point for every 25 yards. This year they're kicking the ball and everybody's standing up straight, so everybody's going to run at least 25 yards. So I decided to bump that down to half a point. Every point return yard went down from 1 point to half a point. Okay, now we also have less than total yards. 200 to 299 total yards. That position went down from -1, from 0 to -1. 400 to 499 total yards allowed went to a -3. 500 to 550 total yards, you lost a -6 points. Okay, so those are all the additions that we have as far as the points. Good luck everybody, and remember, defensive edge rushers are important this year. It's your boy Jackpot Gucci, the commissioner, signing out. Deuces.